hot favourites here in their change strip. They'll be running left to right here and kicking us off here. Salford v Wigan, round 13. Betfred Super League almost set to go. And Harry Smith will be the man who'll get us started here. Playing some great football right now. And here we go. Round 13 underway here in Salford. And it'll be the home team who have first possession. And a first hit up from Joe Shorrocks, a former Wigan player, up against his former side here. And there's Kai Morgan in a dummy half, and a big hit coming in early on. Wigan's defence crucial to a lot of their success this season.
Rupert, you mentioned it, like Wigan in preparation for this game will just be focusing on an 80-minute performance from them. It won't be about who's playing, who isn't playing for Salford. But if you are playing for Salford, over the years, you can go back 20, 30 years. Like, you always wanted to play well against Wigan because you were up against one of the Premier clubs, and if you played well, 9 times out of 10 they signed you.
And a first hit up there from Joe Bullock as well, just previously. 32 years of age, has been on loan at the Barrow Raiders. Straight back in here to try and help matters with so many players having left the club and unavailable. And they find touch in the Wigan half.
And that's a big plus for them. If you've got a man who can kick the ball, you just want to slow the ball, slow the game down as much as you can, kick well, find the sideline and take your recovery, really. And they've got a player in Ryan Brierley on the side that's really going to lead from the front.
Yeah, I mentioned the late change for them. No Neno McDonald, who pulled out late with illness. So Sam Hill getting his Super League debut for Salford this evening, just 18 years of age. We're talking to Paul Rowley before kickoff. 4 years ago, he was leading a charity walk here for the charity that helped him out with his own illness, and here he is back in the stadium a few years later, making his debut for the club. Nice story.
Yeah, it's incredible, really. And Paul Rowley and his children actually played with Sam down the road at Salford Roosters, so he knows all about him, even though he's not got much experience. When he went training with the first team yesterday, so just one really time that he's met the first team players that he's playing with, and a big night for him.
Tyler Dupree there, you mentioned at the top, Terry, former Salford player. Final tackle here, and Harry Smith sends it high with that left boot, and it's been well taken.
Well, that's a good take from another former Wigan player, Chris Hankinson, in the corner. And we're going to make sure your back three do a decent job. Don't just give the ball to the opponents, because Wigan will be very disciplined in the way that they play this game.
Sam Stone there with a touch. A bit of good news having him available, his first start of the season for Salford. And here's Shorrocks again, that shock of blonde hair. All-action player. Harvey Wilson. Brierley with kicking duties again. This one straight down the throat of Jay Field, who's been absolutely devastating in Super League this season. Leads back line tonight. Nice run from him. Good cover tackle as well, though. Bounces it over to Liam Marshall. Could be a special night for him. Currently level with the great Pat Richards on 147 all-time Super League tries for Wigan.
They've got another set restart here from the ref. And again, just put themselves under a bit of pressure, trying to slow Wigan down.
Nine metres out from the Salford line. So dangerous in this situation, this Wigan team. Right foot step from Jack Farriman, the 19-year-old, back on loan from the London Broncos. Matty Pete really excited about this young man.
Well, again, another set restart they've got. Trying to take the former man down, Tyler Dupree. Setting up on the left-hand side for a big shift.
O'Neill, dummy half, out the back to Cade Ellis. Stands in the tackle, put on the floor eventually by Kai Morgan. O'Neill surveys his option, goes the far side. Smith out the back, bounce ball again behind Eckersley. Has to track back all the way to the 40. Here comes Jay Field again, that stepping ability. With the Australian, you've got to watch him. Eckersley at dummy half. Harry Smith. Field. Cut-out ball over the top to Jacob Douglas. Douglas just loses the handle. And it was the cover defence coming across from the debutant Sam Hill.
Yeah, well, that's what you want, isn't it? A good first defensive touch from the young 18-year-old making his debut, like you said. Did ever so well, really, here. Jacob Douglas, he's a strong player. And they look a bit clunky at the start of this game. They were so clinical last week against Catalan. They scored in the opening 3 minutes. And 7 of their 8 tries they scored in the south of France last week were all on the left-hand side. So I'm sure Paul Rowley would have done some work over on what he's up against.
Yeah, solid start from Salford. Joe Bullock again. Actually played for Wigan in the 2020 Grand Final when they lost to St Helens, did Joe Bullock. Shorrock.
That's a great carry.
Looks for the offload as well. Takes the tackle under the attentions of Liam Byrne. Nice run from Shorrock. Morgan. Bit of go forward here for Ryan Briley to try to make something happen. He's put on the deck by Ethan Havard. Right foot step from Easton Masters, centre last week, standoff tonight. Chips it forward, but it's straight into the hands of Jay Field. And here goes Jay Field, as he's been doing all season long. Super League's top try scorer has number 14 for the season.
Well, that's the danger from Jay Field, isn't it? You kick the ball over the top of the field and all of a sudden you've got that broken, fractured line. And the one thing you do need is a straight line. Communication is absolute key. Whenever that man's got hold of the ball, he's got pace to burn. As soon as he gets hold of it, all he's thinking is straight away is where is the gap? He's going for it. And he's a quality player, isn't he? Jay Field, 14th try of the season for him. You know, you look at him, he's been a signing, and you just look when that ball goes over the top, it's just manna from heaven. He beats a couple of players, he can't get anywhere near him, and then it's just a foot race between him and Johnny Vaughan, and he can't get anywhere near one of the fastest men in Super League. And they've done ever so well to get through the set. Decent run from Shorrock, get in the field position, kick over the top from Easton Masters, and all that good work undone in just one play.
Yeah, nice opening knock from the captain. Jay Field led them out, and Adam Kieran is up there 80% this season. Has a pretty straightforward one to take Wigan up to 6. You were saying it was a slow start, Terry, for Wigan in this game compared to last week, but Jay Field put a stop to that.
Well, he's certainly not slow, is he? And you know, he just looks at defence. He terrorises those big fellas in the middle of the field every time he gets hold of the ball. And the kick from Masters needed to be a bit better. It needed to find the ground. Unfortunately, goes into the hands of Jay Field. Then it's a foot race and no one can get near him.
Adam Kieran, that trusty left boot, raises the flags for the Wigan Warriors. They lead Salford 6 points to 0 just through 8 minutes here.
Look, you'd have those players in rugby league that have got an attacking mindset and they just want to get hold of the ball. And as soon as he catches the ball there, he goes forward, all of a sudden a bit of a goose step, and he's gone. And the players around that middle ruck area have got to make sure that they do better. You can't just loiter with intent. And Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty were really disappointed because there was the players there to prevent that try. Yeah, he's quick, yeah, he's fast, yeah, he's got plenty of evasion, but they could have done a better job then.
Yeah, former St George Illawarra Dragons, Parramatta as well in the NRL, junior kangaroo. Matty Pete watching on.
Trying to slow Liam Byrne down as much as possible. They like these short side players. Interesting as well, June and December, normally a left-hand side back rower. They put Ethan Havard over on the left-hand side and moved him over to the right. Maybe that's just to partner up and play alongside young Jack Farrimon to offer him something, some support when he's defending and carrying the ball, maybe.
Good run there from Tyler Dupree. Here's Brad O'Neill. Good mates with Tiaki Chan and Joe Shorrocks, he was saying during the week. Tiaki Chan off the interchange for Salford this evening, allowed to play against his parent club. And Harvey Macon was recalled during the week. That was the last thing that Salford needed. But Wigan do have a couple of injury issues after that trip to France last week. And they've got to run it out from their own try line here.
You want to make sure you get away from that sideline, because they are a very good side of just holding you up and dragging you over the touchline. You want to open up the field as much as possible, really. Look at the numbers. 4 numbers in, slow ruck. Next play is going to be really difficult. Shorrocks looks to move it.
Big tackle coming in, deep in the set as well.
Oh, there's an issue with Ryan Briley as well. He's put his hand up to the sideline. Looked like he pulled his groin or something then.
Can afford to lose their captain, the halfback Ryan Briley. There's another look at the big tackle coming in. That was Ethan Havard. Dishing it off was Jay Field to Jacob Douglas, who's had a lively start as well. Good tackle coming in from Wilson and Ormonroyd on him. Ormonroyd, vice-captain for Salford tonight.
Do you know, he's been really good, Rupert, this year. Been really impressed. A real solid pillar in the middle of the field when they've been missing some real big boys. He's done a decent job, though, Ormonroyd.
William Marshall just put back on his backside for good measure as Tyler Dupree, former championship player of the year, takes it up to halfway.
Hold. 6 again, slow.
They're going to work the near side here, and running at pace is Farrimond, and he finds Douglas and inside to December. It's gone forward,
Yeah, forward. They looked like they were really in trouble then, didn't they? Again, just looking down to that short side, the size of Junior Nsemba has plenty of joy. He's a big towering man. And Salford, they managed to get to 11 minutes, just conceding 1 try. Just make sure you do the basics well. Look at that nice clean hands over the top from Douglas. It goes forward though. Might be a good combination for years to come, young Jack Farrimond and Junior Nsemba. 2 quality youngsters.
Yeah, I had a chat to Matty Pete yesterday. Really keen to give young Jack Farrimond, doesn't turn 20 till October. Really keen to give him a go, but so much competition in this Wigan side with Harry Smith and Bevan Frenchies on interchange tonight.
Look, most 19-year-olds want to play, don't they? You want an opportunity to play. Just his second appearance of the year, but plenty of games he'll get under his belt in years to come.
Looking forward to seeing Cian McDermott a little later as well. Another teenager set to make his debut for Wigan this evening. Morgan. Briley's still out there.
Still,
having
pulling up though.
Talk to the sideline, but he doesn't look to be moving all that smoothly, does he? He's just behind that ruck as Salford run up towards halfway.
There's that run from Harvey Wilson. Like I said, I was really looking forward to seeing him play against his former club.
Yeah, so coming in to take the kicking duties, Eason Masters. I don't think Briley, with that sore groin, wants to be doing that. As Douglas runs it back.
Stand on the mark. Hold. Joe.
Jay Field, Smith, and here's Marshall. Liam Marshall on the cut. Top meters in Super League this season. I mentioned he's on the cusp of breaking that all-time Super League try-scoring record for Wigan as well. Here's Ethan Havard.
He does it all, doesn't he, Liam Marshall? Scores, tries, makes plenty of meters.
Out the back to Smith, and it opens up for the halfback, and he gets away from another. Coming across to make the tackle. It was important. Was Salford. Here's Jay Field again. Eckersley to Marshall. Checks inside.
5, move, goal line.
Last tackle here for Wigan. O'Brien out the back to Smith. And the pass was intended for Douglas, but it's gone over the sideline, perhaps off a Salford hand.
Yeah, Johnny Vaughan it was who just makes a play for it. Just comes off his left hand. In that set of 6, Joe Shorrocks just shot the line and just opened up for Harry Smith to get through, and then all of a sudden they did really well to recover on the right hand side, but you can see Johnny Vaughan makes a play And again, they're just under a bit more pressure here.
Move, goal line! Goal line, go, Joe!
Deep in Salford territory early in the set. Tyler Dupree thunders forward. Good tackle from Joe Bullock.
Yeah, he's just offside though. I'm just watching what the fullback's doing. Young Nathan Connell is doing a decent job marshalling the troops, the defensive line in front of him.
Brett O'Neill has options. He goes to Harry Smith, and here's Eckersley handing off players for fun. Eckersley, he's over the line. Can he get it down? Held up, says the referee.
Well, that's great defence, and I think it's that youngster that I just talked about, Nathan Connell. Is it that's underneath him? He's a big, powerful player, Eckersley, and they did ever so well then to prevent him scoring.
Here comes Dupree again.
Two, move, goal line! Hold.
O'Neill, change of direction. Jay Field, cut out ball, and it's a try for Jacob Douglas. The 21-year-old, his first of the season for Wigan in Super League. And Wigan have their second.
Just his third appearance of the year, Jacob Douglas, for what he is. He's a classy winger. Spent some time last year up at Barrow on loan, managing just 2 appearances for the Warriors last year, but he's a quality player. And they just create that space with that third man, and that third man who sweeps either side is Jay Field, and he just spooks defenders. Johnny Vaughan gets caught out, he bites in, and then all of a sudden you leave the youngster on debut, Sam Hill, with no option, no support. He's got to all of a sudden account for a couple of men in front of him. I think he had 3 players that he had to account for then, because the decent job that they did with the ball going to the line. Nice finish from Jacob Douglas.
Yeah, he's been on loan at Oldham for a couple of games. He's come through the Wigan scholarship scheme. Given a chance tonight, he's got himself on the score sheet already. And Adam Kieran successful with his first attempt to goal. This one's a lot more difficult, right out on the sideline.
Well, what the Warriors are always trying to do is get a result from the sets of 6 that they have. They play really tough. They like to get through the line, land on the front, play it quickly. Then they've got that attacking shape with so many options to pick from.
Yeah, player of the match against the Catalan Dragons last week. Adam Kieran.
1 sec, wait there, Christian!
Looking to nail his 42nd goal of the season. The Salford trainers just got in the way there. So.
Yeah, Chris Ninnan just trying to get in the way and just trying to really put Adam Kieran off from kicking. Got a telling off from the referee.
Fair enough. He's hit it pretty well, but just misses right. The conversion, so it remains 10-0 to Wigan.
Well, maybe Chris Ninnan just did enough to put the kicker off Adam Kieran, so it actually worked.
It was a tough enough kick as it was.
Yeah, look at that nice ball, wasn't it? Jack Farimon goes deep into the line, tips the ball on to Jay Field, and then Jay Field with that cutout pass, and you can see the youngster Sam Hill, he just didn't have a chance. So many Wigan players just rushing at the line at top speed, and the passes were clinical.
So we're back underway. Wigan 2 tries, 2 to good. And they hit it back with energy, and the gang tackle comes in from Salford. They need a bit more of that. Almost at quarter time, trailing by 10. Dupree's had a lively start for Wigan, you've got to say. Here's Nasemba. Denied a try early with a forward pass.
On the mat, Junior, stand back.
Super League Young Player of the Year last season. Salford are just trying to keep Wigan in their own half before the kick on the last here, but there's another big carry.
That's a great carry from Tyler Dupree.
He has been energetic early on here. Guy Field to It's Kate Ellis rather to Liam Byrne.
Hold! Release now, 5, wait! Jackie! Go 5, Jackie, good.
Smith sends it high. End over end. Floodlights having an effect here.
Well, you can just see him just trying to keep Chris Hankinson up, but again, he dealt with that, didn't he, Chris Hankinson?
Sam Stone now.
Well, I wonder if they'll try and play the way out of trouble like they did early on in the game here. Maybe looking to shift the ball centre field.
That's exactly what they do.
3, move, Junior, back!
Trying to find a bit of go forward through the middle. And a change of direction for Chris Hankinson once more.
Yeah, again, that's another good carry from him. He's doubling up his efforts tonight. There you go, the penalty. They were desperate for the penalty, Rupert. And they got one. And do you know what? I think if you go down to the coaches and you ask them, look, you're nearly a quarter of the way through this game and you're just 10 points behind, what you're feeling, and they'll be pretty proud of what they're seeing from some of the players out there. Like, you look at them, I think there's 7 players, there's 8 players injured, there's 7 players that have left the club. So they're doing it tough.
Harry, wait! Wait!
I mentioned Harvey Macon recalled by Wigan this week. Tiaki Chan, here he is with his first carry, and he's been allowed to play against his parent club tonight. Briley to Harvey Wilson, gets away and goes again.
There he is, all-action player.
These players with association with the opposition tonight, wanting to make their mark.
Oh, that's it. And even the players likes of this Nathan Connolly just getting his hands on the ball, just wanting to impress. Some of these players don't know what the future holds.
Yeah, Nathan Connell there. Paul Rowley was gushing about how much he's improved this season, and he's had to. A lot of these players who have played a lot more minutes this season than they might have thought in pre-season, and they're edging closer to the Wigan line here.
Oh, great play from him, isn't it? Trying to build a bit of pressure.
Tiaki Chan that was, and here they go with a big opportunity. And the ball to Sam Hill on debut.
Oh, nice little flick pass out the back though, wasn't it, from young Sam Hill? Trying to keep the ball alive. Johnny Vaughan gets hold of it, but not a bad place to turn over, is it?
Yeah, you might as well give the offload a go in that situation. That'll give him some confidence, a bit of go forward, and getting in sight of some points there.
Yeah,
Salford.
Absolutely. They've got to switch on here now, Rupert. They just brought Patrick Mago on Wigan. Big powerhouse that he is. Comes off the bench, causes and creates some havoc with his carries. Lining up here.
Here he goes, Patrick Mago, 113 kilos, 6'2". That's pretty heavy. Takes 4 Salford Red Devils to stop him. Harry Smith kicks against the grain off that left boot behind Sam Hill. And the youngster has to go all the way back, just in front of his own try line, and Hill chased his own kick and made a good tackle. Smith.
He's definitely not phased, is he, the youngster? He's got to do his job. He knows he's going to have to word a tackle, bringing that back, because Wigan's kick chase is pretty professional.
Move that back. Hold.
So 21 and a half minutes gone here as Joe Shorrocks runs it up again. That's the 3rd tackle. Kyle Morgan takes his time at dummy half. Easton Masters up over the 30. Briley seems to have shrugged off that what looked like a pulled groin earlier. He's trying to make things happen, but that pass has gone over the sidelines, intended for Nathan Connell.
Yeah, it was just a bit too tough, just a bit in front, wasn't it, to catch that. No, I have been impressed with Salford. They're pretty good in contact. They prevent the offload from the Warriors. And you see when they look to shift that ball, it was just too far in front of Hankinson to catch.
And Masemba gets Wigan moving forward again. There's Mago once more. Their only 34-game ever-present player last season as they won the quadruple. Change of direction to Harry Smith, and Ethan Havard again. I mentioned his first start of the season. Returned last week after 4 months out with that hamstring issue. Smith hitting and spinning. Kade Ellis. Smith again, and Farriman with that deft kick. That's well handled by Sam Hill.
Yeah, he's doing a decent job getting some of them difficult kicks, isn't he? Johnny Vaughan now just trying to get to centre field and play around those defenders. Again, it's going to be some hard work, and they need some options. And they're carrying the ball. Issa Masters with an offload.
There to Morgan, now Shorrocks. That was a good hit up from Johnny Vaughan as well, as on loan from St Helens. In the lead up to that,
he's been really impressive. Chris Hankton again getting quick play of the ball here.
Morgan to Tiaki Chan. December takes care of him, no problem. Hard to think that junior December, still just 20 years of age. Deep kick down to Liam Marshall. As he's been doing all season long, runs it back. Runs up the meters.
Ryan Brierley kicked that ball in, but again, he just couldn't quite plug the gap in the defensive line. So like you said before, Rupert, maybe just give the ball to Issa Masters and let him kick the ball instead of doing any more damage.
100% completion rate for Salford tonight so far. Down 10-0 on the scoreboard. Approaching 25 minutes, chance of an intercept there, but here's Douglas once more, looking for a second try of the night. Skipped inside Shorrocks, but Sam Hill put him on the floor. Farriman. Brad O'Neill. Havard runs it forward, penalty against Salford.
Do you know, I'm going to go back to that when I think Johnny Vaughan had a brain explosion. He flies out the line, he can't affect the tackle, and then all of a sudden it just puts more pressure on your teammates. Wigan again playing the ball really quickly.
And Dupree has one arm over the try line. He'll play the ball. Kade Ellis, lovely pass that. For Adam Kieran. Tackle had to be made. It was. Still alive though for December here. It's the meter out. They keep him out for now. Still early in the set though. Farriman. Smith can't hold on.
Well, they had him then. They definitely had him. They'll be really disappointed, Harry Smith. Well, he's playing behind a big pat. He's a smart player. He really keeps those defenders honest. He squares them up, asks plenty of questions, and he knows that if he gets hold of this ball, and it's a better pass to be fair to him, that there may have been a try.
Yeah, Jay Field, didn't he, coming around the corner.
Well, that's it. When you got Jay Field, you said before about how he sweeps around and he adds and gives you that overlap on either side.
I love that expression on his face though after he made that knock on. He's like, sorry lads, all right, we're all human.
Well, everyone knows that, you know, the ball's the threat, and I said about Johnny Vaughan like making a mistake, and if you're nice and composed in defence and you don't have to jump the line and try and be a hero and cut out the play, because if you come up with it, it's brilliant. If you don't come up with it, it puts you in trouble.
I'll tell you what, some of these process flags are out, the banners behind the post of that Salford end, but they're really getting behind their team tonight, willing them forward up against one of the best teams in rugby league, the Wigan Warriors.
Let me tell you, they might have a big number of fans following them, but they've always been vocal. I can remember them back in the early 90s.
Ethan Masters playing in the halves tonight, but doing a lot of ball carrying into contact. Centre last week. It's this makeshift squad that Salford have got this season. It's all hands on deck. Everyone has to adapt. He kicks now, Masters. Down to Jay Field. Takes it over his shoulder. He's got Douglas with him. That angled run, and he gives it to Douglas, and now Farriman has found his way out on the wing, and he checks inside. Lovely feet from young Jack Farriman up over the halfway.
Great little run, wasn't it? Fantastic little run from Farriman.
Harvey Hill off the interchange.
Step back. Hold. What's back in the room? Hold. Two. Play on. Still two.
O'Neill was intended for December, but another mistake, and you've got to credit Salford there again for their defence.
Absolutely. Do you know, just getting in the eye line of Harry Smith and making that pass a bit more of an uncomfortable pass for Junior Nsemba to get hold of. You want to get the ball in the good ball positions, but Salford at the minute, they're just hunger, the desire, they're absorbing some of the big challenges that Wigan are throwing at them.
Sam Stone. Briley, short ball to Shorrock. Big cheer went up before. That was for Harvey Wilson after he's gone on to the interchange for all his efforts so far.
Yeah, young Charlie Glover's come onto the field, ex-Holton Farmer Fornage Junior. Always played a year out. He's really tough. Watch out for him.
Sam Stone gets away out of the tackle of Harry Smith. Inside the Wigan 20. Masters just shows the ball back to his captain Briley. Oh, big hit comes in. That was Adam Kieran. He didn't miss.
Oh, he didn't, did he? And that's it. You shoot out the line. You've got to make sure you nail that tackle, and he certainly did that. The urgency from Kieran to just get out the line.
Well, welcome to Super League, Sam Hill.
You know, a big shot. Adam Kieran, known for some of his silky skills. And he just gets in, doesn't he? Just makes...
Correction, it was Johnny Vaughan, wasn't it?
Yeah, makes huge contact. And he reacts to what the ball carrier is doing and what's coming out the back. And like I said, down there, Rupert, when you choose to come out the line, you've got to absolutely nail it. And Adam Kieran certainly nailed it.
Yeah, Junior. Marcus, if you're coming in tight, please, on the 10, please.
Yeah, former Aussie schoolboys, Adam Kieran.
In tight, points in.
Sydney Roosters, New Zealand Warriors. It's been around the block.
Okay, let's go.
Well, and that's why Wigan have been great over the years.
A couple of updates for you. Warrington 16-0 over Castleford. Remember, they've got a big cup final coming up, the Wolves, so important to hit some form before that contest against Hull KR. And speaking of which, the Robins are leading St Helens at Craven Park by 12 points to 4. All those games available for you live on Sky Sports tonight.
Was that a bit of a bobble then from Hill?
Here is Kieran after making that big tackle. He kicks in field for Jay Field. End over end. Field is there. What a try that is. Adam Kieran down the sideline. And a centre kick of absolute glory for Jay Field.
Well, Jay Field, well, he gets the opportunity. And Kieran, nice kick, wasn't it? And again, it's like one of those breakout sets. You get the ball out wide, nice hands. And I think it was Junior Nsemba. And he just tips the ball on, nice little outline. Gets young Sam Hill interested. And Adam Kieran, knowing that he's running out of space, he's got 3 players in front of him. And he gets a perfect kick in the field. And the man with all the speed, Jay Field, gets to the ground, gets to the grounding of that ball, right in front of the Salford fans. They thought there was a bit of a bobble, but no, there wasn't. Clear try from Jay Field, second of the night, but a nice kick from Kieran. A nice finish from the fullback.
15 tries for the season for Jay Field. Yeah, he's very much a left-footed kicker, isn't he, Adam Kieran? And he used his left there brilliantly, just off the edge of the boot, indoors. I thought there was a chance that Jay Field might have been slightly in front of him as he kicks it, but checks it in the background, all good.
Yeah, the ref was in a good position, wasn't he? And do you know what I really liked about that try? That Junior Nsemba is one of the biggest, most powerful men in Super League. It's still at the tender age of 20, the most tackle busts in Super League. But nice hands. It wasn't about trying to barge his way through that defensive line. It was about creating something outside for the man in a better position.
Field with the chance to add another couple of points here. Adam Kieran. He does exactly that. Wigan leading Salford by 16 points to 0 with 32 minutes through.
Well, the Warriors have got so many game breakers all over the field, haven't they? Kieran gets the ball off Junior Nsemba. Like I said, I thought he did a decent job to skip out wide, get the defenders interested, tips it on, and then a nice play from Adam Kieran. Unselfish play from Kieran. Well, he knew exactly what he had to do, but really impressed with the skills from the big man in the back row on the right-hand side. Like we said in commentary earlier, normally plays on the left, so opening up his skill set, swapping the other side of the field and setting up that try.
Nsemba hit hard and put over the sideline. Cheer goes up at the Salford Community Stadium.
Well, he's a big target to hit, isn't he? Junior. And they dropped the ball on his head, and they managed to come up with a decent effort to get him over. And again, you can just see the urgency from them. Vaughan, Shorrocks, all of them getting involved, trying to push him over. Ryan Briley as well. It's a big effort and a big play for them. And you know what they could do with some points just before half-time? Give them a bit of confidence.
Absolutely. Charlie Glover, Jackie Chan again. Jack Ormonroyd part of that gang tackle on Nsemba to get them this possession and field position here. Briley out the back to Masters, does well to reel it in with the right hand. Gets the fend going. Nsemba comes in alongside Havard. Chan again. He is looking to impress against his parent club tonight. Morgan to Briley. Nice change of direction. Little dab through might work out for them. No, because the run of Johnny Vaughan was just checked. And the referee might have a little look at this.
I think he'll check it. I don't think there was anything wrong. I think Johnny Vaughan actually...
Just check for the merits of a...
I think he trips over.
Potential obstruction. Back try. Potential back try. Front no try. Yeah, I think so. He's reviewing it all.
Yeah, I've got your fine, Loss. Yeah, it's video ref. Check this, mate. It's tackle 4. We've got no try on field. We're checking for the merits of a penalty try. So on the kick, chase for left is onside. Just have a look at this. Might need something a little bit closer in to assess the impact that Faramond has. Faramond is just turning to go towards the ball, and when we lose him in that shot, we'll go back to camera 4 for it. Faramond is just turning to go towards the ball, and that is just a collision, and they trip over legs. There's no foul play in this, and let's just see what happens with the ball. And the ball appears to just go dead. Let's see if that gives us anything. Yeah, and the ball touches the line. Thank you, I've made my decision.
No try, 20. Come on.
No try is the call. 20-metre restart for Wigan. Yeah, it was Jack Faramond who potentially put a leg out. That's what they were thinking on Johnny Vaughan there.
So a nice play from them. Oh, there's a mistake. Oh, Eckersley, wow, normally safe. Eckersley. Well, again, it just opens up for Salford.
So another big chance for the home team here to try and get something out of this first half.
Well, they've all got to be a bit lively around here.
5.5 minutes to go. Jack Ormonroyd.
Move, Paddy, back foot. Line.
Morgan, Briley, Masters. Tries to get away from Eckersley. Came up with that error, but Eckersley holds on to his right leg.
Move. Hold, kid. Hold. Go, 3, keep going, 3.
Tiaki Chan, he was hit hard by Patrick Mago. Slow to get up. Briley dabs it for again, and that time Jack Farriman scoops it up and he's off to the races, the youngster. And he finds the support run of Jacob Douglas. And Douglas will go coast to coast for the Wigan Warriors. Oh, it all could have been so different at the other end of the field. But this Wigan team, you give them half a chance, they'll cut you to ribbons.
Well, you know what, they're playing and trying to look up and play what's in front of them, and they're just confronted with defenders in a Warriors jersey, and they just can't quite execute that kick to go through. Farriman does a decent job, doesn't he, to get through. He's just trying to suck those defenders in before he gives it a player that's in support. No Jay Field on this occasion. It's Jacob Douglas that manages to get up and get supporting him. He just seems to turn up in numbers every time that there's a break made. And Jack Farriman did a decent job, first of all, to trap the ball, then to pick it up, find some space, and then give it to that young man, Jacob Douglas. And going in for his second try of the game. It's an important try as well, because Salford up to that point had a couple of cracks around near the line, were building with a bit of confidence, and the scoreboard didn't look that bad for them.
And there they are, the two youngsters in tandem, Farriman and Douglas. Farriman got it all started, just 19 years of age, and Douglas just 21. Two Wigan Academy players getting the job done to take them out to 20 points to 0.
And then just Kieran now just lining up this. He knows that straight in front it's a sitter for him, man of his quality.
Yeah, he had a Salford trainer in his ear for his previous attempt from wide out wide. This one all alone right in front, should be no problem for Adam Kieran. And he does exactly that. So Wigan 22-0 over Salford now as we approach half-time here.
Looking pretty strong at the minute. The amount of times that they find in that space. And it's just a bit of urgency, isn't it, from Farriman? You can see no panic from the young man. Mike Pete will talk about him and talk about how mature he is for a young man. And he certainly shows that. And Douglas, well, he doesn't need any further opportunities. Gets the ball in his hands, knows that there's nobody in front of him, scores his second of the game. Good play from those two young men.
So Salford trailing Wigan by 22 points to 0 as the rather large figure of Patrick Mago hits it up from the restart.
Hold! Release now! Hold!
And apart from anything else, you can just see a visible difference in size and power between these two sides.
Some of these Salford players might not have been in a full-time system for a long time. Give a penalty where they're just trying to slow them down, and they're desperate to do that just before half-time. They've got another set of 6 to contend with here. It'll be a real sucker blow if they concede a try in the next set.
Yeah, that'll be what head coach Paul Rowley will be hoping they can keep him out before half-time, because they've worked so hard for him in this first half. Despite conceding 22 points, it's not lacked effort, this performance.
You know what I was going to say? They've had a right dig in this game, and I think the fans and the coaching staff and everyone at the club can be really proud of everyone on the field.
Ryan! Move, Ryan, really! Hold!
Kate Ellis. Morgan holds on to it. O'Neill just calm as you like, surveys his options and goes to Mago, and now Field over the top to Marshall, plays a bit of football, but he knocks it on.
Do you know what? I reckon they blew about 3 or 4 chances, haven't they, in this game? That last pass has not been good enough, so Harry Smith made a couple of mistakes. The ball over the top then to Liam Marshall just wasn't quite good enough. He acknowledges, he puts his hand up to his team, and Jay Field again going for that cutout that they've scored a couple of tries with. But on that occasion, he just couldn't quite ice that pass, because he did it. They did everything right. They pulled in those defenders. There was space definitely out wide for Marshall.
Yeah, mentioned at the top, he's on the cusp of breaking the record of Pat Richards, which he's currently level with, 147 all time. Super League tries for Wigan.
Stop block. Ball in now. Get it in, Ryan. Out!
Juggling the ball.
One. Move! Pull back, Teddy!
10-metre line there. Managed to hold on. There's the hooter for half-time, and we will go to the break with the Wigan Warriors, who took a little bit of time to find their best stuff, but they did come up with some lovely tries in that opening 40. Jay Field with a couple, Jacob Douglas with a double as well, and it is the Wigan Warriors who go to half-time against Salford, leading by 22 points to nil. So out come the Salford team here to start the second half. The Salford faithful down at the right end of the ground there are still in action. They've been full of voice despite some of the protests on some of the banners around the ground tonight. And Terry O'Connor alongside on commentary this evening. A club you used to pay for, of course. Just give us an idea of what's been these fans have had to deal with this season.
Yeah, over the years, frustrations that they've had to go through, from when the Marwan Kukash come in and put his money in the club, and then Marwan left, and then no one knew what was going on. And John Wilkinson was a massive part of this club for years, and signed me back early 1990. And so many great players that you see him play for the club over the time, and still involved and still watch the club. And they're really hurting, really. But they'll be really proud as well. As daft as it sounds, Rupert, they'll be really proud of what this young side, with some of the experienced players, have really put out there against a Warriors side that, well, they're just used to winning games, aren't they? They're so dominant, they're so confident, and they've got so many game breakers. Kurt Haggerty and Paul Rowley, I'm sure that would have been a happy dressing room for them both.
Chris Hankinson has overcooked the restart. That's not the start they wanted.
Well, the big talk coming out of the change rooms would have been, let's make sure that we get off to a good start. And that was not in the script. Said he played really well in that first half, doubled up his efforts, carrying the ball away. 2 carries a set. It just puts his side under a bit of pressure here now.
So Adam Kieran to Farriman, who assisted Jacob Douglas for one of his tries in the first half, as Patrick Mago carries it forward. And already at the start of this second half, the Wigan Warriors are just 10 metres away from another try. O'Neill, Smith out the back to Farriman. Loose pass for Jay Field.
Again,
Kieran has to get back.
A number of times, hasn't there? Again, it goes to the ground.
Third tackle. Field just looming behind the breakdown area, as he likes to do. Around the ruck. So dangerous. Already a couple of tries tonight. Smith kicks on the angle for Eckersley. He gets one hand to it, but it's gone forward off Eckersley. So it'll be a turnover for Salford.
It's a good kick, isn't it, from Harry Smith, just putting Salford under a bit of pressure, dropping it before the line. Didn't want it to go over the try line, give the Warriors a 7-tackle set. 10 metres now from the touch line, and they've got it all on again here. There's the man, Chris Hankinson. Doesn't shy away from the tough stuff, does he, the winger?
And they haven't shied away from it all season. It was really interesting listening to Paul Rowley at his press conference this week about the standards he's still trying to set despite everything he said, we weren't good enough last week. We can be better. You can't use stuff as an excuse. And he's still trying to drive his team, his young team, and some of these players to get better in this league.
Well, I'd say, imagine turning up, doing a job with a smile on your face, not knowing what's going to happen come the end of the month, and players leaving, players getting injured, but you've still got to keep the players on the field and manage the players that are getting onto the field and be positive. Difficult job.
Kick through from Briley. We thought he might have been coming off in the first half. Through to Marshall. Briley was clutching a groin, wasn't he? We thought he was signalling to the sideline, but he's shrugged it off, still out there.
Well, there's a number of games I've watched in this year and I've spoken to him saying that he is actually playing through the pain, Barry, but you can mark my words, some of these senior boys know that they've got to play injured. They've got to put their hands up, Salford. You've got to really commend them for that. That's nice line speed. Was it Jack Ormond-Royd?
In on Ethan Havard there. They're going to kick here. Harry Smith, low trajectory over the head of Nathan Connolly. He's going to let it go end over end to his dead ball zone and run it back.
Well, he was desperate to get a couple more bounces then, wasn't he, the youngster, to get it over the dead ball. Great way to kick.
Thought he was playing on the wing tonight, but Nene McDonald pulled out late with illness, so there was a reshuffle as if Paul Rowley didn't have enough problems, and Sam Hill came in for his debut. Floating contact, Nasemba reads it well. Briley. Morgan just has a look open, goes the shorter side. There's another offload, but dangerous. Well, that works out okay. Shorrocks. Another offloading contact. Perhaps a bit of a plan, but that one's fallen into the hands of Harry Smith. And here come Wigan again. 50-50 in contact, and Wigan have the ball back.
Yeah, well, Charlie Glover managed to get his hands free, and no one really reacted and pushed around. You can see what he was trying to do when he went in to that tackle then.
Smith, loads of option, finds Mager.
Get back there! Hold. Hold.
Farriman to field, and there's another one of those unlikely errors from Wigan. He had a little look, didn't he?
Normally they nail everything like that. At speed as well. In the first half, there must have been 5 or 6 mistakes. In the second half, there's a couple as well in the opening 5 minutes, which isn't good enough. You could just see that when he was going to catch that ball, then Jayfield, he had a little look up at Sam Stone, the number 11 for Salford. Just maybe coming for him. He could feel a bit of the pressure.
Well, there's something for the review next week. Weekend off for the cup final, of course, so certainly not a perfect performance from Wigan tonight.
Move, Paddy! Red line, hold! Hold! One side is good, Brad. 2.
Okay, Morgan now just trying to direct some of the forwards. Again, Charlie Glover with another carry.
Briley to Masters. Almost got the ball around the back. That's a hold on up to halfway.
Hold, Harry! Hold!
What a decision there, the Salford fans. They didn't get it. Jack Ormond-Royd.
Quick play the ball here.
Morgan.
5. Move, get back, Paddy! Hold!
Actually had high 40% possession in the first half that Salford just couldn't do enough with it as Fields come up with another mistake, that time trying to catch the high ball.
Well, they're certainly inviting him into the game and making uncharacteristic mistakes.
And those Salford fans are full of voice once more.
Well, imagine if they get a try here right in front of the faithful, it'll go up this stadium.
Big chance again here for Salford. Ormond-Royd driving the legs. There they are, willing their team over the line here. Slow ball though. Briley just holds on, and easy pickings for the Wigan defence.
Wait, Godfrey.
Still early in the set. Chan, wouldn't he love to score against his parent club? I think that was Charlie Glover, was it? Short ball and almost over the line. What a last-ditch tackle from Harry Smith.
Well, Jack Ormonroyd it was, who just stayed true to his line, didn't he? Outstanding effort from him. A couple of carries in that set. 33-year-old seems to be in his best form of his career. Jack Ormonroyd, he comes on that crash ball. Unfortunately, just can't quite get it. Like you said, good tackle from Harry Smith.
Fill the scrum, lads. Put the back row in. On the line, please.
Oh, so close. Jack Ormonroyd.
Tight in, hold that line. Heads in tight. Shot put off, ball in. Out.
Smith made that
One. Move off the line, Johnny. Back.
tackle. Gets them underway again. December, so dangerous in those wider channels. Already come up with
Find the ball, Junior. Hold.
a brilliant offload tonight, which resulted in one of their first half tries. Mago.
Move now.
O'Neill to Farriman.
Trying to generate some goal forward here, the Warriors.
A little no-looker. Here comes Eckersley. Eckersley's got Marshall with him. Liam Marshall back to Eckersley. And Wigan have their fifth. Zach Eckersley with his fifth of the season in Super League.
Well, they were just waiting for that opportunity. Then that set, it was all about power. The forwards doing a decent job, generating decent meters, just trying to get down on the ground and play the ball for Brad O'Neill to just try and orchestrate something at the back. And once they shift that ball to the edge, it was Eckersley that started it off. Showed nice, neat footwork to get outside of his man. When he gets hold of this ball, you can see the speed that he's got. He just manages to skip outside of Sam Stone, create that 2-on-1 with the winger Hankinson, and Marshall tips the ball back inside to the man who started it and created it. You just look at the footwork, the speed that he's got, passes the ball at the right time, and Marshall unselfishly just draws the fullback, tips the ball into the man who started it. It might have took him 9 minutes to score the first try of the second half, but you could just sense it was coming from the Warriors. A nice play from the young man.
Yeah, 21-year-old. He scored that try against Hull KO early in the season. That long-range effort which turned that game. KR's only loss of the season. He's now scored in 6 games this campaign. It's made it very straightforward for Adam Kieran here as well to take Wigan out to 28. You just feel they've got that ability, haven't they, to just tune it up, to drop a gear, just add that extra bit of pace on the game. Sure, they got so much X factor out wide, but just that ability to lift it.
Well, that's it. They've got so much strike, so much speed when the ball goes out wide. And they've got another man on the bench who's not been on yet, in Bevan French, probably the quickest man in Super League. No disrespect to Jay Field, but speed all over the park, size all over the park, and skill. And again, just the unselfish play. It's just a training ground move from Marshall when he's eyeing up the fullback, knowing that he's just got to draw and pass. The 2-on-1 that you practice in the warm-ups during the week for games. And they got that try then, nailed that skill, and that young man scored the try.
So 28-0 Wigan leading Salford early in the second half here.
One. Move now. Find me middle. Hold. Hold.
Perfect conditions for rugby league tonight.
Well, Joe Bullock, a little push then. Just uncalled for, really. Again, it just gets him off the hook a bit. It was just nice and tight, trying to do a bit of a number, get off the line.
Come on, Joe, I'll give you the benefit of doubt on that.
You can see the Salford players just talking to each other about getting tight and closing them gaps down for the likes of Ntemba.
Hold.
Speaking of putting pace on the ball, December just hits the accelerator there and thunders it up into the Salford defence, as does Ethan Havard. Here's Cian McDermott,
Oh, that was a nice
Super
first
League
shot.
debut tonight, the 19-year-old. He only turned 19 in February.
That was a great carry, wasn't it?
Move,
Brad O'Neill.
Andy, Brad! Play on back in the rope, what's the play? It's 5.
Smith kicks on the last. It's a tricky one, but well handled in the end by Nathan Connell.
Yeah, did well then, didn't he? He was under some pressure, wasn't he, from that young man, Cian McDermott.
Sam Stone, a Malta international, raised in Australia. Masters with a no-look at a Shorrocks. Shozza, they called him when he was playing for Wigan. That ball's come loose.
They're going to challenge this, I think. No, he's got the shake of the head. I thought they might challenge that decision then.
You can see the C's on the graphic, bottom left of screen. That means both sides have a captain's challenge up their sleeve, should they choose to use it.
Yeah, he must have known what the outcome would have been. Sean O'Loughlin on the sideline with Bevan French and Tyler Dupree.
He looks pretty keen to get on, Bevan, doesn't he? He only needs one try for 100 in Super League as well.
So does Sean O'Loughlin, to be fair.
Smith round the corner, and here comes Adam Kieran for the corner. Well, that's how you do it off the set piece. Adam Kieran has Wigan 6 tonight.
Well, it was a sitter for him, wasn't it? He just ran hard. Adam Kieran manages to punch his way through that gap. And just wanted to get in on the act, didn't he? I think the forwards in the second half for the Warriors have done a real good job. And just look at that. The attempt from Johnny Vaughan just to get hold of Adam Kieran wasn't good enough. You've got to get your bodies in front. It was a lunging effort. Hits the ground, he'd be disappointed again with that. But he would have wanted a real big game, Johnny Vaughan, signed for Wigan for next year. Wanted to make his mark, set our message to Matty Pete, the young man.
Player of the match last week down in the southwest of France. Adam Kieran. Bevan's on the bike.
Do you think they'll put him on? Do they need to put him on? Does he want to go on? He's going through the motions on the bench there.
When you've got a 3-time Super League dream team, former Man of Steel,
Yeah,
Lance Todd and Rob Burrow trophy winner.
Get it.
On the interchange.
But when you're winning by 32 points with a kick to come,
It's kind of not fair though, is it?
nah, it just seemed so unfair. Putting a fresh Bevan French on the field against a tired inside that have done so much work defensively.
Thomas Luluai. Matty Pete having a chat and a smile about something. He's had some tough kicks tonight as well as some easy ones, Kieran. This one's on his right side, if you like, the left foot. Can he curl it in? Yes, he can. What a kick. That's how you convert your own try, Adam Kieran.
Well, just taking the extra few seconds just to make sure that he gets this kick and gets the energy back in. And just see, look at him, he's always aware of where Shorrocks is, chasing down into the corner, and Shorrocks did a decent job to push him into the corner, hoping that he may have missed that conversion, but he gets it. 6 points from Kieran in the last couple of minutes.
He kicked 8 from 8 against Warrington in Las Vegas. They weren't all gimmies either.
And again, it's the second time that they've tried to slow it down. There's a bit of a flop here now. The referee penalised them. Tom Grant. A milestone game for him, his 100th Super League game. Tom Grant. And give that penalty away now. All of a sudden you find yourself defending in the half. Justin Sangare on for the Red Devils now.
Yeah, the Frenchman capped 8 times for his country. Smith to Mago. So tough to stop the big man.
They're just energy sapping runs, aren't they?
Smith again. Short ball to McDermott. He looks a baller, this kid.
Doesn't he just?
Popular around the group, we're told. Great attitude, big future. Sangare hits Mago.
Yeah,
forces the mistake.
Yeah, nice shot, wasn't it, from Justin Sangare, fresh onto the field. Wanted to make an impact. He certainly did that then with that tackle. We talked about Keane McDermott. His first year as a full-time pro, the young man. I talked to Sean O'Loughlin about him earlier today. I said, what's he like? He said, oh, he's nothing like you, Tez. I said, oh, what do you mean? I thought he was going to give me a compliment. He said, no, he's pretty athletic. He's got good skills. He's got a really bright future in the game. I said, cheers for that, Sean. Thanks.
Ball in now, straight in, Ryan, now. Out, thanks, Ryan.
Salford.
One. Move, step back.
Working hard to try and get out of danger. Harvey Wilson there at dummy half to Joe Bullock.
Move, red line on the mark,
Eventually played for Wigan in a grand final, albeit in a losing cause a few years ago, and almost breaking away is Johnny Vaughan. He gets a beautiful ball clear. What a run upfield that is. Connell with the carry.
Well, that's what Johnny Vaughan's good at, isn't it? And Connell then could have been a penalty for them.
That's what the fans were screaming for. Sangare now. Certainly had some bright moments in this match. Can they convert this one? But the big tackle comes in from Harvey Hill. 34-0. Salford trailing Wigan, looking for their first points of the game. They got a penalty.
Yeah, nice work from Harvey Wilson. He just can't quite get back then. The Warriors, he gets the penalty, he just pulls that penalty out of him. We've got a chance here now. He's so animated, Ryan Briley, telling everybody what he wants. Justin Sangare with the first carry.
Another full set for Salford. Wilson can't find a runner. Has to take another tackle. Salford edging ever closer. Jack Ormonroyd, he came desperately close a little earlier on. Briley, Masters, bit of footwork. Masters coming around the corner, a high arm. Shoulder, says the referee. Wilson again. Cuts out Sangare to Briley. Beautiful pass over the top. Oh no, it's forward. It's forward. And it denies Sam Hill his first try in Super League on debut.
What a spoil sport. Tom Grant is the referee. Like he said on debut, the young man, look, they're not going to win this game. And he's going to remember this night, isn't he, Sam Hill? But let him score the try. Was it a line ball? Was it too far forward? It's a nice run, right upfield. And they managed to get a penalty. They get that good field position that they're after. Nice ball from Wilson and over the top. And Bradley does everything that he can to just keep on moving forward when he passes that ball to give the illusion that it doesn't go forward.
Well, he hurled it into the stand where all the Salford faithful are. He thought he had his moment. It'll come, it'll come. Don't worry about that, Sam Hill, but denied on that occasion. Liam Byrne back onto the field for Wigan. Here he is. They've come so close tonight, haven't they, Salford?
Do you know what? I was just going to say, Ruben, then that I think they'll get the biggest cheer of the night, won't they? From even the Wigan fans. Well, look at that. It's a punishing kick.
Harry Smith, that left boot of his, worth its weight in gold. Sam Hill thought he was over at the other end, has had to hurl himself all the way back to his own try line. Now Johnny Vaughan.
Well, the game's changed. Just a pass, all of a sudden you're under a bit of pressure. They're doing it tough here now. Some of the big men struggling to get back to cart this ball forward. Justin Sangare with his hands up. Oh, he's dropped it. Again, it's just a bit of that pressure from the defence rushing up in front of you.
And they've done it a few times tonight. December is shoved way back.
Oh, and they forced a mistake as well. I think. They're going back to where there was a mistake from Salford and saying that there was no advantage.
Yeah, lost yards. You heard the
referee. Look at that. I thought I was watching rugby union for a minute. I don't see many players force Junior and December back 15-20 metres.
Step back, lads. Let's go back. Let's go back. Back, lads. Here's the match. Shot clock off.
Sangare involved there. He picked up the game when the Toulouse Rugby League club came to his school and their outreach program and never looked back.
Straight on me. Back row in. Back in. Let's go. Get him back in tight. Straight, Harry.
Smith feeds it, but now it's Kieran. O'Neill, little signal just behind the backside as he finds his ball runner. It's Liam Byrne again. Just a couple of metres out, Wigan. 62 minutes gone. Leading 34-0. Here's Harvey Hill. Gets it away to Smith. Nasemba, he's got support. And they will get another try out of this. And it could be a hat-trick for Douglas. It is. Jacob Douglas with a triple for Wigan.
And that mistake just led to that field position that the Warriors got. And again, Junior Samba has causes a couple of problems. You don't know what you're going to get from him, whether he's going to try and run over it or just tip the ball on. And some youngsters in that frame then that look really good going forward. You just see, gets this ball early on. Again, he just steps off his left foot, shovels the ball out to Jacob Douglas. And you like the attitude from the big man, because he probably could have crashed over himself then, but developing the skills as a rugby player, can't run over everybody, and he knows that. He's been coached really well at the Warriors ever since he's come into the system and come through the system, and reaping the rewards just like Jacob Douglas did on that occasion.
Yeah, what a night for Jacob Douglas. I mentioned he'd been on loan at Oldham, playing a couple of games for them. Just his third appearance for Wigan. Couple of appearances in the try last year, but 3 tries on the evening. 21-year-old will be going home happy tonight.
Yeah, he's a fair old player. He knows how to finish that. What I like about Jacob Douglas as well is when he's returning the ball from the try line, how strong, how powerful he is. Always puts his hands up. Seen him a number of times, like you said, played in the championship, really toughened up the young man. Just a bit slower in the championship, so got a bit more time defending.
And the two youngsters there together again, Farriman and Douglas, through the academy.
Yeah, like I said, there was Keane McDermott as well on a shot before. That good signs for any of those Wigan fans behind the sticks for what lies ahead. Although saying that, Douglas is going to St Helens next year, which will upset some Wigan fans.
Well, another brilliant conversion from Adam Kieran, and Wigan are up to 40.
Yeah, well, they're just starting to go away from them, isn't it? Nice little offload from Harvey Hill. Nice play from Smith to give the ball out wide to Junior Nsemba, and the young man Sam Hill had to account for Junior Nsemba. He comes in, can't prevent the offload, and Jacob Douglas and scored his third of the night.
And Liam Byrne.
He returns the ball with interest, doesn't he, Liam Byrne, the Irish international. Liam Byrne played his junior rugby down the road, if I'm not mistaken, at Cadished Rhinos, I think they were called. So a local lad.
And Neil picks up off the scoop. There's another good pass from Kieran inside to Nsemba, although that was just in front of him, went forward. Every time they get the ball on the edge now, Wigan, they look so dangerous.
Well, Jacob Douglas trying to create something for Nsemba himself. Well, they make the mistake, and see it again. It's just a lunging effort from Shorrocks to prevent him going on the outside of him. He's come up with some decent last-ditch efforts, Joe Shorrocks, in this game. 75 appearances for the Warriors over the years.
Just the 2 defeats for Wigan this season. That 1-0 defeat in the opening round to Lee, and against Lee's Rhinos, round 5. But all in all, you think Matty Pete's pretty happy at how they're travelling?
Yeah, they've been really strong, the Warriors. Well, I like what he sees with some of the youngsters that are in. Obviously, he would have hoped he would have been playing in the cup final next week. But overall, the season has been pretty successful for the club.
Yeah, it can't be 4 major trophies for Wigan this year, what they did in 2024. But they'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. You can be absolutely sure of that.
6 again, not square.
Good carry from Chris Hankinson. He's had a few of those already tonight.
He's been really, really strong, hasn't he, Chris Hankinson?
And Joe Bullock in his return game for Salford this evening adds some energy as well. Wilson. Sangare. 40 points to 0, but can Salford get something out of this? The ball's gone forward. Pass.
Yeah, the first ball, it went forward. Omeroy dropped it anyway. Again, just the 2 experienced props just offering themselves. Coming onto that crash ball, he couldn't quite take it in. Wilson, the ball does just drift forward. Just needed to give themselves an extra yard or 2 to help the young man. Just picked some tough lads. Omeroy, and he's really led from the front this year. Talking to his coach, Paul Rowley, said he's been really impressive on and off the field.
There's Liam Marshall, still level with Pat Richards on 147 all-time tries for Wigan Super League. They got a penalty out of that scuffle.
I don't know if you want to be really picky with Salford, the amount of times that they give a penalty away when they've got them down in their own half, maybe 20-30 out, and a monster kick again from the Warriors.
Patrick Mago. That ball's loose, has been knocked on. So we talked about these errors earlier, didn't we? Sorry, Terry, but a few more in the second half.
Yeah, again, another mistake. And Matty Pete wants to be the second half of the season when everyone starts to just, and the league table starts leveling out in the top 6. You don't want to make sure you're making like mistakes, but again, sometimes you've got to credit the defence. And was it Sam Stone that comes in, gets decent contact for Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty.
Wrap in tight, wrap in back row, let's go. Bowling now.
Paul Rowley looking smart in the black suit tonight.
Surrender.
Johnny Vaughan.
Stand now. Surrender, Johnny.
There's an offload to Sangare. Out of contact allows him to go up to halfway, but he's put on his backside. Wilson.
Joe Bullock now just trying to add his weight with a strong carry. Nice scooters again from Wilson. And he's got a couple of penalties out of the referee with his scoots. Harvey Wilson, 21-year-old, certainly gets through plenty of work.
Plays a lot of different positions as well. There's Harvey Wilson.
I think he's a great little player, good footwork, gets through the line.
Let's go, Ryan. Let's go, Ryan.
Here's Bullock again.
One, move, get back, Paddy. Hold.
Wilson
Hold.
dusted himself down to get up and get back in a dummy half, and Tiaki Chan.
Move now, get back.
Briley to Masters. Good tackle made by Farriman.
3, move, get
Well
back.
read by the 19-year-old.
Hold. Don't push the rook down here. 3.
Houston Masters thought about dishing it out the back, but holds on.
Just looking, I don't think he was expecting Sangare. Oh, Sangare wasn't expecting a nice little carry from Chan.
Yeah, fourth tackle here. They cut out Sangare, but it's loose out the back. This halts the momentum for a moment. And Nathan Connell can't do much with it. Harry Smith with the tackle there. Kicking on the last. Another kick through. And that'll be a restart on the 20 for Wigan.
Well, the Warriors in this game, they're 10 clean breaks to just 1. Offloads in the Salford's favour, some of the big forwards and some of the senior players managing to get their arm free. Just not managing to play off the back of it. With the Woodian one, 11 errors for the Warriors. That doesn't even include the balls that have gone on the ground and the Warriors have picked up when it's gone behind them.
Week off for the cup final, then St Helens at home. And Hull FC in round 15. Doesn't get much easier for this Salford team. The fixtures coming their way. Field, couple of tries first half. He's so slippery. Gives it to Nasemba. Nasemba still going. The big 20-year-old. 10 metres out. What a run that was.
Incredible strength, wasn't it?
Kieran, Farriman. O'Neill to Smith. Smith's going to kick through. This is for Marshall. And Salford survive.
You know, Chris Hankinson to the rescue. We will have another set of 6 that they've got to deal with here, and the appreciation for all the effort from Liam Marshall to Chris Hankinson. It was a great kick, wasn't it, into the corner. Nice weight on it. Hankinson doing enough to get back and prevent the try being scored.
Down the line.
So goal line dropout for Salford. The man who prevented the try, Hankinson. But Liam Byrne throws his 108-kilogram frame into Tiaki Chan and Justin Sangare. Tyler Dupree, former Salford.
Move, find the ball, Tyler. Good now.
Mago, Smith, Eckersley, Marshall. The line was beckoning. The record was beckoning.
Play the ball.
the pass was too tough to handle.
Yeah. And again, it's Chris Hankinson that just does enough. Just look at the pressure that he puts on Eckersley. Eckersley could feel him coming up, and he knew that he just had to get those quick hands away and get the ball to Marshall, who'd go in for the try. But again, it's just nice defence. Hurrying, harassing defence, preventing that man from scoring.
He must be aware of it. The landmark, the milestone.
100%, everyone will be telling him. All the stats guys at Wigan, he'll know exactly how many tries he scored.
Final 5 minutes here. Harvey Wilson, sweat dripping off him. He's worked so hard tonight, as has Chris Hankinson. Those two can certainly go into the sheds after this one, feeling pleased with their own efforts. As Shorrocks has found an opening, and here it comes. Salford are in. It's Nathan Connell who hurls the ball into the Salford faithful. It won't be anywhere near enough to make a difference to the result, but that does not matter a jot.
Do you know, that celebration there behind the sticks reminds me of when they went to the grand final in 2019 and they went to Wigan and they beat them. The celebration there in front of the fans. They've not given up on this game. 76 minutes in, Nathan Connell grew up playing rugby in Wigan, the amateur club Shevington Sharks, so young junior, and didn't he do well to take that? And again, it was another former Wigan man who manages to set it up. It's just nice play, isn't it? You know, he bounced back across the field. Shorrocks there, offering himself, just pulls the fullback Jay Field, and I got the biggest cheer of the night when Nathan Connell got hold of that, and there's nobody in front of him. You can see Jay Field just going across the back. Masters with a decent offload to Shorrocks, and Shorrocks did everything that he needed to do. His assignment was complete, and look at the delight of those fans there. Oh, they've gone through the mill in the last few months, through this week, through today. Didn't even know whether they were going to be playing, some of them, and to finish the game like that, well, credit to them.
You would have to have a heart of stone not to feel for these Salford fans and what they've been through this season, and to give them a moment like that. Nathan Connell, and Hankinson adds the extra 2 as well. 40 points to 6.
Well, great play, won't forget this, will he? And Masters, well, he's got a decent offload, hasn't he? And Shorrocks, well, just offering himself, being honest, playing the game, the full game, and he still manages to have the rugby IQ of knowing what he has to do here. The 2-on-1, get to the fullback, pull him away, get to his right-hand side, and just give that man a bit of chance. And you knew as soon as he got it, he played winger or fullback, he's got the speed to go over. And look at them fans. What a night for them.
And what a moment for Nathan Connell. And there's some energy from Tiaki Chan, another Wigan player who wants to get it on the act.
Love it. Love those returns like that. Don't deviate from your run. Toby Warren then. I'm not sure who hit him. Was it Tyler Dupree? Might have come off second best. But Toby Warren, the lead youngster, certainly carried that hard.
Nathan Connell, the try scorer. Paul Rowley spoke about him in the week as well, about how unbelievable he's been, playing so many more minutes this season than he otherwise would have thought he would have been if not for the off-field issues. But he's taken his chance, and there's so much toughness he's shown this season for such a young man, and he gets the reward of a try tonight.
Yeah, well, there are your rewards for doing all the right things. Johnny Vaughan did the right thing then, but got absolutely clattered from a Wigan player.
Well, the kick didn't go far enough. It was allowed to bounce, and Wigan can come away with it. Here's Marshall. Bit of footwork. Can't get away from Toby Warren. Eckersley. He's hit hard by Wilson, who's just Still taking names out there. Shorrock's shooting out of the line.
Oh, he was hunting. Good job he changed his line of run then.
Final 60 seconds here. And the fans that are singing, even though they're on the end of a 40-6 scoreline, are the Salford fans. As Jacobson heads down the sideline, inside to Ferryman, and Ferryman will score for the Wigan Warriors. The 19-year-old with his first Super League try this season. And he walks away with a memorable moment as well.
Well, just as the Salford fans thought that the try from Nathan Connell was going to be the last one of the night, Wigan just get you on the counter when you least expect it. And the smile says it all from Jack Faramond. They go over to that right-hand side again. It's just that little step off the outside foot. Adam Kieran with a nice ball to Jacob Douglas, who in return passes it to Jack Faramond. And you can see the way he just attracts the players, and they pull in and they bite in. And he goes in and scores the try.
Well, so many subplots to this game tonight. The result perhaps was predictable given form coming in and all the other issues, of course, but these young players that have really impressed tonight, the likes of young 19-year-old Jack Farriman, who they're really excited about his rugby league future, gets a try right at the end, having set up one earlier in the first half. Last moment of the game, Adam Kieran bangs over another couple. Another comprehensive win for the Wigan Warriors. They've beaten the Salford Red Devils by 46 points to 6 here. The travelling Wigan fans got what they came for, but Salford did have one bright moment right near the end with the try to Nathan Connell, but Wigan, as we expected, far too good on the night. Terry O'Connor, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's getting through the game for the Warriors.